If Aloy crossed his professional line, then every lawyer who spoke after court broke rule. Tietie. In a recent interview shared by lawyer and public affairs analyst Tietie weighed in on the controversy surrounding the alleged professional misconduct of a fellow lawyer who participated in a public protest. Tietie argued that participation in a peaceful demonstration does not amount to a breach of professional ethics or an attempt to influence the court. He emphasized the need to distinguish between a lawyer's constitutional right and a citizen, and its professional obligations to the courts. According to him, the right to freely express opinions and assemble peacefully is guaranteed under Section 39 and 40 of the Nigerian Constitution. Of course, the that are arresting, they know that there is a constitution, it is a law that you can exercise your freedom to protest peacefully, assemble. When you are done, you go back home. They know that it is in Section 39 and 40, but they just don't want to obey it. They just want to do what they feel is okay to them. Defending the embattled lawyer, TSA stated, "If we think Aloy has gone past his realm as a professional, then virtually every lawyer who has spoken to the press after court has violated the rule." He pointed out that many lawyers often address the media after court proceedings, which, if strictly interpreted, will also fall under the Forbidden's rule. Tietie further criticized selective enforcement of professional conduct rule, saying such inconsistency undermines fairness and justice. He urged the legal community to apply ethical standards uniformly while respecting the constitutional freedom of every Nigerian citizens, including members of the bar. So, as Amos Gordon says, only corrupt lawyers would condemn lawyers involved in peaceful protest. After all, the whole world is seeing how your judiciary are treating cases to please their paymasters in Niger. Gabriel Cody says, in 1999, when Ikeme lost the presidential bid to Obasanjo, the forces released from prison and gave. Instead, it would go to Ikeme and his Indigo, gathered at Enugu and pray to God for his mercy. To Indigo, in their words, like, what is the outcome happening for us? Indigo is no more ordinary. I personally read the full-page prayers in one of the national dailies then. I was deeply touched. That's the closest we ever got our that's the closest we ever got our near our solution. Igbo nation, let's turn to our God for his mercy. As Indigo says, we do not have brilliant lawyers in Nigeria. Personally, I do not regard lawyers in Nigeria anymore. I also think I'm having like a bit of resentment for lawyers. Like, don't regard them again, because all of them are not independent. From the Chief Justice of the Federation to those wasting their time in the universities, they are so dumb and dull that they always fail to understand the provision of the law. Some of them they are studying here, but most of them will probably mostly relocate to a working country. It is as Paul Naimeka says, Gani and Falana participated in protest against injustice. So why are they not now releasing Aloy? Now wow. At Orindo Julius says, tools for fighting injustice is one, vocal through social media. 2, protest. How can a human rights activist demonstrate his profession and belief, if not by physical proof? Pastor Aloy proved what he signs for. Any lawyer that is against him is anti-progressive and enemy of progress. Of course, now we know them plenty. Gabriel Okoli says the Igbo nation rejected God and turned to idols, and God isn't happy with them. Where did they turn to idols? Now, for you, and sold them into the hands of those that hate them. See Israel's case is Judges. Judges 4:1-24. Judges 7 and Judges 13 verse 1. If Igbo will seek after God, like the people of Nineveh, Israel, did when they were warned, Igbo won't need the mercy of any tribe or leaders. It's not in their hands. God says, if our ways please Him, He will make our enemies to be at peace with us. Let's turn to our God. He will abundantly pardon us. Okay. Our relation says, policies has beclouded your sense of judgment. Protesting in a client that you are representing, the client in the court is an emotional involvement in the case, a subtle discredit of judiciary and an extra-legal means to blackmail a judge to surrender. Arise. Okay. Aaron says, so the government who is the prosecution will mobilize troops to go to the house of defendant who is on bail. What do you call that? Why is it that you don't make reference to that, Ayodele? We're talking about Ayodele. Truth says judiciary is in the past has been the hope of the common man, but today, any lawyer that is hungry runs to political parties for greener pastures. Okay. Today's judiciary is cash and carry, judgment in every sector. A court condemned a man by hanging, by defending himself from Fulani terrorists. He was sentenced to death. Now wow. He sentenced somebody to death for condemning. Here. Things are happening in this country. US Second says, oh God, please deliver Nigeria now. As Ejimakor says, you understand that the law truly said about peaceful protest. You are learned though. Julia Johnson says, confused judiciary, the double standard laws that have been practicing is catchy. On them, this is just the beginning. Nigerians are watching it unfold. Julia says, confused judiciary, okay, I've heard that. Namdi Chike says, it's unfortunate that Nigeria has since been divided amongst tribes and religion, hence can't speak with one voice as the people. I hail thee. Olamide says, I disagree if after court session a lawyer explains what happened in court, such as stating that bail was granted or refused, application moved and ruled upon, or case adjourned to another day, issue of sub judice cannot be alleged. Fedhad says, I'm not a lawyer, but I know that Aloy has done nothing to tamper with his profession. The man didn't do anything. They just don't want to release him. Only God knows why. So, my listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.